All right. So let's lie down on our backs again. I know we did this last week and the week before that, but let's lie down on our backs again. I don't know. I think lately it's been a good place to start. And as you lie down here, just start to take in how you're feeling. Place one hand on your chest and one hand on your stomach. I want you to take big breaths. And notice your stomach rising and falling. And I want you to really pay attention to how your body's feeling from your navel down. Do your hips feel like they're in a line? Does maybe one leg feel a little bit tighter than the other? Just taking in that awareness there. Being aware of how your body is balanced or not balanced. And then continuing those rounds of breath, I want your next thought to be any fears that have been coming up for you lately. Just noticing them or naming them. But don't let it don't let it change how you feel right now. And on the last exhale, I want you to just bring those knees back into your chest. Give them a squeeze, hold them in tight. Feel your lower back relaxing, your upper back, your middle back. And we're going to start class this morning going into a figure 4. So I want you just to take that left ankle on top of the right thigh, thread your hands through, hold down towards your shin or interlace the fingers around your hamstrings, whatever feels good for you, whatever version you like better. But the idea is just to start gently using that right leg as leverage to bring your left leg in, to open up that outside IT band area, piriformis area in your left leg. You want to continue to keep the shoulders relaxed, the head relaxed. And not overstretching here, since this is the first time we're stretching out our legs. Haven't really warmed up yet. We're using this as a gentle warm-up. And on that last exhale, gently release that left leg, straighten it up towards the ceiling, flex the toes back towards your body. And exhale, we'll switch sides. Right ankle goes on top of your left thigh. Same thing here, thread those hands through, whatever feels comfortable. Opening up that right hip this time. Continuing to allow your upper body to relax. Take a few more rounds of breath here. And on that exhale, gently release. Same thing on this side. Send your right foot up towards the ceiling. Flex those toes back towards your upper body so you're pressing through your heel. Exhale, release. Your knees can come into your chest. Once again, just rock over to either side to come up into a seated position on your mat. And you can face the front of your mat if it's easier. I'm going to face you guys just so you can see me. Sitting up nice and tall. Take your hands on your knees. And I want you just to gently feel your shoulders relaxing. If you need to wiggle them side to side, wiggle them side to side. Just get those shoulders loosened up. And then I want you to take, and we're just going to do a few circles here in our lower body, our torso area. So I want you to just go over to the right side, shift your weight forward, to the left side, sink the navel in as you go back, and all the way around. So this might feel a little weird at first, and that's okay, but just roll around in a circle. Just little hip circles, stomach circles. I'm not really sure if they have a name. And on that last exhale, we're going to just switch directions. So starting to the left this time. Take the chest out in front, stomach out in front, roll it all the way around to your right. Pull the navel in as you make your way over to the left and back again. And last one. Make your way back to center. Take an exhale and inhale. Reach those arms up towards the ceiling. Interlace your fingers, and as you interlace your fingers, just bring them behind your head. And we did something similar to this last week, but this week we're just going to slowly twist open to the right. Sitting up tall, pulling those lower ribs in. You might even feel some stretches in your shoulders here. And then bring it back to center and over to the left. Same thing, try to open up that left elbow, open up your chest. Pull the core in. And back to the right. And to the left. To the right. And to the left. Last time. Release those hands, come back to center, hands to your knees. Take and really pull that core in as you round out your back in this seated position. Drop your chin down towards your chest, round out your spine. And as you inhale, open up your chest, open up your throat, gaze up towards the ceiling. Press your chest forward. Exhale, round it out. Inhale, open up your chest, gaze up. Exhale, round it out. 3 more times, inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Inhale, last one. And exhale. Come back to a neutral position in your seat. We're going to make our way over onto our mats in a tabletop position. We're going to continue that same spinal motion, just warming up all the way through your spine. And we're doing this warm up a little bit slowly this morning. But I want you to take your hands underneath of your shoulders, your knees underneath of your hips. Inhale, gaze up, gaze forward, open up your chest. Feel like you're sinking your stomach down towards the mat. You have a little bit of an arch in your back. And then as you exhale, I want you to press that mat away, gaze back towards your thighs, round it out into a cat. Pull everything in, tuck your chin, gaze back towards your thighs. And again, inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And now at your own pace, if you want to add a little hip stretch to either side, send the hips back and forth. If you want to hold your cat a little bit longer or your cow a little bit longer, we just did some spinal work, so it does make these stretches a little bit easier and easier to go a little bit deeper. And then on your last exhale, take and lift your waist up, send your heels back and down, coming into your downward facing dog. First downward facing dog, so same thing, let's pedal the feet a little bit. Bend into either knee. Taking your time to make your downward facing dog feel comfortable. And on that last exhale, gaze forward towards your hands. Step one foot and then the other up towards your hands. Look up halfway. Exhale, fold in half. Ground down into your feet. Inhale, reach and rise. Bring it all the way back up. Exhale, hands to your sides. And we're going to go through a few sun salutations here. And I want you to think about these sun salutations the same way we did our warm up when we were trying to create tension and engagement in our core and then trying to open up our chest. Think of your sun salutations the same way. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway, extend through your spine. Exhale, fold again, hands to the mat, step the feet back, Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, open up your chest, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Take your breath here. In your downward facing dog, find that slight rounding in your back, that cat-like back, where your lower ribs pull in, your navel pulls in, and you're gazing back towards your thighs. Bend your elbows a little bit, scoop those elbows back towards your toes so that you're using your tricep muscles and also opening up the upper back and shoulders. Last exhale, gaze forward towards your hands, step one foot and then the other up towards your hands. Look up halfway. Exhale, fold. Ground down into your feet. Inhale, reach and rise. Bring it all the way back up. Exhale, hands to your sides. We're going to do that again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold, hands to the mat, step the feet back. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. 5 breaths. Find that strength in your downward facing dog. Bend those elbows slightly, scoop them back towards your toes, plug those arms into your shoulder sockets. On that last exhale, this time gazing forward towards your hands, you can step or hop those feet forward. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, fold. Ground down into your feet. Inhale, reach and rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to your sides. And I want you to go through 3 more sun salutations, but I'm going to give you the time and space to do them on your own. So you can hop back, hop forward, make your sun salutation whatever you feel good to do this morning. If you want to add a little leg lift in your downward facing dog, you can. But just a little sense of quiet, breathing, finding space. And whenever you're finished 3, just stand back at the top of your mat. Actually, I'm just kidding. We're going to stay in our downward facing dog. That was silly. Whenever you're on that last downward facing dog, just stay there for a few breaths. Or if you're there for a little bit too long, you're welcome to do a child's pose. Now that we all meet back in our downward facing dog, let's inhale, lift the left leg up towards the ceiling. Lift it up nice and high. Let's open up that hip, lifting the knee up towards the ceiling. And we're gonna take this all the way over, flipping it open into a wild thing if you want to, or you can just continue to keep that knee up. But if you're going into a wild thing, you keep grounding down into that right foot, right hand, open it all the way up. Left foot goes onto the mat and you press your hips up towards the ceiling. And then you flip it all the way back. Left leg still up towards the ceiling. Exhale, round out your back. Step that left foot forward towards your hands. Coming into a low lunge, or a high lunge, excuse me, take that right heel, press it back towards the wall behind you. Find some space here first. I like to ground down into my legs, lengthen through the top of my head, find that grounding, and then bring the hands to your thigh. Ground a little bit more. And if you can, reach your arms up. As you reach those arms up, keep using the strength in your legs to support your upper body. Your hands can be apart, they can be together, but try to gaze up towards your hands so that you're opening up your chest, you're opening up the front of your body. On that last exhale, take and drop that right foot onto the mat, open up into a warrior two. Keep pressing that left foot forward, right foot back. Feel as if you're tucking the tailbone just slightly, lifting up on your lower core. Straighten through that left leg. Make both feet parallel to the short edges of the mat. Take your hands to your waist. Bring an inhale to open up your chest. Exhale, lead with your chest down towards the mat. Hands can come onto the mat. Hands can go to your feet, really however you want your hands to go, as long as this head is dropping down towards the mat. Finding space in your hamstrings, sending your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Inhale halfway. Take an exhale. Come all the way back up. And exhale here. Take those toes to the corner edges of the mat. Sink into a little bend into your knees, coming into a goddess pose. So same thing, I want you to activate that core, tuck the tailbone a little bit, bring your arms out into the cactus arms. And just hold here. Maybe sink a little bit lower. I shift my weight into one foot and then the other. And then find stillness and ground down and out into your legs. Big breaths. Keep using those legs, pull the core in, find that stillness. And last exhale, gently come out, straighten your legs, windmill the hands down around that left foot. Ground down into your hands, step the foot back into your downward facing dog. Just shake those legs side to side. Notice if you created some space. And we're going to switch over to the right side, but same way before, we're going to go into a wild thing option if you want to, or you can just lift that right leg up. Either way, if you're lifting it up, bend into that knee to open up your chest. So you're lifting the knee up towards the ceiling, opening up your hip. If you want to go into a wild thing, you're going to start to shift your weight over to the left. Left hand, left foot, right hand gets light, and you come all the way over. Hips press up towards the ceiling. And exhale, flip it back. Thread that right foot through to your hands. Again, finding that grounding in your feet as you come into your high lunge. Take your time, move slowly, find the pressure in your feet. Shift that left heel back, hands to your thigh. Take your time, lift your arms up. Same thing here, finding space to open up your chest, open up your rib cage, ground down into that right foot. Gaze up towards your hands. Last exhale, open it up, warrior two. Keep bending into that right knee if you can. Tuck the tailbone just slightly. Straighten through that right leg. Rotate the feet so that they're parallel with the short edge of the mat again. This time, take your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers to open up your chest. And exhale, take a forward fold here. With that hand modification, opening up your shoulders, letting the top of the head drop down towards the floor. So you can even shake that head yes or no a little bit. Let your neck relax. Inhale, bring it back up. Take an exhale. Take those toes, point them out just slightly. We're going to go into our goddess pose again. So I want you to bend those knees. Find that strength in your goddess pose. I know I'm not facing you. This feels a little weird, but pull the core in. Arms come up, the cactus arms. Wiggle, find your space, find what feels good, and then find stillness. Stay there. Pressing those feet down and out. Press, press, press. Core tucks in. Hold here. Hold, hold, hold. Exhale, straighten those legs, reach your arms up. Maybe go up onto the tippy toes, balls of the feet. Exhale, release. Windmill those hands down around that front foot. Step it back. Downward facing dog. Gaze forward towards your hands. Step both feet forward towards your hands. Your feet go wider than your hands here. And just like a little goddess pose, take the toes out towards the corner edges of the mat. And we're going to sink and rest in Malasana squat. So just coming into a little squatted position. Finding your comfort here. If you want to take your hands into prayer and open up those legs just slightly with your elbows, you can. Few breaths. Take your hands down onto the mat just forward of your feet. And make the fingers wide. Fingers wide, finger pads pressing into the mat. Take a few more breaths here, and I want you to notice your hips your legs and notice if they're active or if you're just passively squatting here in this stretch. I want you to think about your tailbone again, releasing down towards the mat. And think about using those legs so that you're keeping your knees away from your arms. And then you can release. It's okay to be passive in this stretch, but sometimes it's good to add a little bit of activity in those muscles. Helps you actually stretch a little bit deeper. So this is one of my favorite ways to practice crow. We're just going to do this really quickly. Wasn't really in the plans, but it feels good when we're in this malasana squat to go into a little bit of crow pose or flight or arm balance. So having your hands on the mat, I want you to lift up and bring those toes together a little bit, just slightly. And as you lift, I want you to lift those knees up just a little bit higher than your triceps, as if they're going to go right in to your armpits. And we're going through this a little bit fast, and that's okay, but just want you to practice here. Hands on the mat. I like to squeeze those legs into your arms, like you're squeezing your shoulders together with your legs. This helps you get a little bit more lift. So pressing into your hands, just rocking that weight forward until your hands feel like they have you, and then lift one leg, lift the other foot. Take your gaze forward, lift your waist, and then lift your feet. Lift your waist and then your feet. And come back down. Good. Great. One more time if you want to try it one more time if you think you had it. Just looking for that space where you find that balance, and maybe you can start to challenge yourself and hold for a few breaths. On that last time, exhale, step it back, come back into your downward facing dog again. We're going to shift to continue opening up our waist, opening up our hips and our hamstrings. So I want you to take and lift that right leg up. Send the right leg through, coming down onto your right knee or your right shin, moving into a pigeon. Take a moment to relax here in your pigeon pose. Fold forward, forearms onto the mat. Come into a nice soft pigeon. On that last exhale, gently bring the hands back. Open up your chest. If you feel balanced, take the hands back towards your hips. Open up your chest, gaze forward. Or you can take your hands behind your back, interlace your fingers, squeeze those hands together, open up. Exhale, release, move back to center. Keep that right leg on the mat. See if you can't use hands. We're going to do this a couple times. Lift that left leg up, bring it all the way around, and then bring it back. So this is just a little bit of hip mobility, working on opening up and using muscles with strength and control. Take it back, reach it back, and bring it forward again. Last time. Lift that leg up. No hands if you can. Take it back. Bring it all the way back forward. Take the left foot, bring it on top of that right thigh. Look something like this. I'm wearing black and I noticed you can't really see. There we go. Sit up tall. Go ahead and take your right arm, hold on to that left knee, open up, gaze over your left shoulder. And so if you're just holding on to that left knee there, bringing it in towards your chest, I want you to think about starting to ground that left hip down towards the mat as you open up your chest. So you're sitting up tall out of your waist. Inhale, gently come back. Release that left leg again. Let's take it back, all the way back into your pigeon pose. Place the hands on the mat so that you can lift yourself up and back again into your downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, give that left leg a lift. Round out your spine, place that left knee forward in between your hands, coming down onto your shin, sending your right leg back. Taking your pigeon pose, folding forward, whatever feels good. Taking your time to rest. And on that last exhale here, bring those hands back. Walk them back, open up your chest, press those hips forward. Stay here or bring the hands back behind you. Interlace those fingers, squeeze the palms together, open up your chest. Exhale, release. Trying that same thing with no hands again. Try to lift that right leg up this time. Bring it all the way around. Just touch it on the other side of the left foot. And then bring it back. And again. Let's try for 4 or 5 times. No hands. Just keeping that leg lifted up just a little bit so that you're using those muscles deep into your hip. And just increasing your mobility. And whenever you're on that last one, take that right foot, bring it on the other side of your left thigh. Sit up nice and tall, take that left arm, bring it on top, or hold on to that right leg. And same thing, start feeling like you're drawing that right hip down towards the mat a little. You'll feel that stretch in your IT band, in your thigh. Continue to sit up tall and just gaze over that right shoulder. Last exhale, bring your gaze back. Take another exhale just to lift that right leg off. Send it back again. Hands to the mat. Lift yourself up and back, downward facing dog. Gaze forward toward your hands, come back into a seat. Sitting down on your mat, taking your legs out straight, and take a moment just to swish those legs back and forth. You can go as fast or as slow as you want here. I like to go a little bit faster. It helps the blood flow go back to your hips and continue to release that piriformis muscle. And then toes up towards the ceiling and tap the big toes together. This also helps release those hips. Take those feet, toes up, press through the soles of your feet, lift your arms up. Take and press those hands onto the ceiling. Pull the core in. Exhale as you lean forward, reach past your feet. And exhale, fold. Inhale, look up halfway. Take an exhale, move all the way up to your seat again. This time, taking the right sole of the foot down onto the mat so the knee is up towards the ceiling. We're going to take this pose slowly because this pose also really helps open up into our hips. So I want you to take both hands to the inside of that right thigh, grounding down into your right foot, even the toes. So take a gaze over at your right foot. Make sure you're pressing into all of those toes. Make sure you're pressing through your left foot, right through the insole of that foot. You're pressing it towards the wall in front of you. Lengthen up through the spine and just start to fold forward. You can do the same thing where we reach those hands, trying to reach the hands past your foot, but keep all of the toes down onto the mat. Keep this right knee as much as you can facing up towards the ceiling. And the more that you stretch and fold forward here, you might notice that little stretch in your lower back, in your hip, right at your sacrum, balancing out that space. If you have the space and can hold on to your foot, you're welcome to hold on to your foot. Lengthen through the top of your head. Exhale, fold. Keep grounding down into that right foot. Don't let up. Exhale, release. Come up. Give that right knee a squeeze in toward your chest. And exhale, release. Switching sides, left foot comes down onto the mat, left heel just to the outside of your sit bone. You want to make sure you have that little bit of space between your foot and your sit bone. You're trying to bend your knee as much as you can, but your foot can certainly be out further if you need that space in your knee. Same thing here, sit up tall, press down into all of your toes on that left foot. Even your pinky toe presses into the mat. You're reaching through that right foot as you start to reach forward toward your right foot. Keep that spine long and tall. Keep that left knee up towards the ceiling and reach. Reach. Press and reach. If you can, hold on to that left foot. Lengthen through the upper body and just start to fold. In this forward fold, though, we're not just melting or relaxing. We're grounding down into that left foot. We're pressing through the right foot. We're using our core. And exhale, release. Come all the way up. Send that left leg out straight and switch those feet back and forth one more time. Bringing your body back down onto the mat, lying down onto your backs. You can bring your knees in with you, take them toward your chest. Allow your back to flatten, back to relax. If you need a few moments to rock back and forth, you can. We're going to finish out strong here with one more hip opening stretch, coming into a bridge pose or a back bend. This is totally preference for you, whatever you want to do. We're going to do 3 of them, and you can always build up to 1 back bend. But taking those heels in close to your fingertips and just walking the feet out. Grounding down into your feet, lift your hips up. If there's space underneath of you to interlace your fingers here so that you can open up your chest more. But I want you to think about your hips. Think about those fronts of those legs. Knees shift forward, hips lift up. Exhale, slowly lower down. If you want to do 3 more bridge poses, you can. Next one. Or if you want to lift up into a back bend, you can. Last one. And lower down. Bring the knees back into the chest once again. Take and lift the toes up towards the ceiling. Lift your hands up towards the ceiling. Just relax your hands, relax your feet. Allow the blood flow to come back into your torso, your hips. If there's anything else that your body's calling for here, take a moment. Go into that pose, take your time. Or whenever you're ready, make your way into your final rest pose, Shavasana. And if you're all settled into your Shavasana, I want you to bring yourself back to the beginning of class. Notice from your navel down. Notice if there's more space there. Some tension released. Gently start to bring some life back into your body. Bring your knees into your chest. Rock over to your right side. And make your way up to a seat. Bring your hands to heart center. And before we say namaste, I'm going to read a quote that I found this week. Honor the space between your old self and your new self. She may feel uncomfortable now, but soon she will feel like home. Namaste. Bye, guys. Thanks.